You ever get woken up at 3 a.m. by a phone call that tells you your whole day, hell, your whole life, is about to get weird? Because that's exactly how this all started. My phone buzzes like it's got a grudge against me, and when I roll over and squint at the screen, I see it's the emergency dispatch number. 8 years I'd carried that number, and every time it rang before sunrise, I knew what was coming. Another Minnesota snowstorm dumping 2 feet of powder on Rochester, roads buried, people counting on me to dig them out before they even thought about coffee. That's my job. Name's Tyler Carson, licensed commercial snowplow operator, one of only 3 folks in the county certified to handle the big rigs. It's not glamorous, but it's necessary, and let me tell you, it'll put hair on your chest whether you want it or not. So I grabbed my battered thermos, yanked on my thick coveralls, and stepped out into that kind of dark where you wonder if the sun forgot about you. My truck sat there, big, blue, idling like a tired but loyal dog. Now, my neighborhood, Meadowbrook Estates, wasn't on my official route that morning. But you don't leave your own street buried, especially when half your neighbors are retired and the other half are just hoping their Prius doesn't get stuck. So, yeah, I always plowed Willow Creek Drive first, partly because I'm a decent guy and partly because Mrs. Henderson next door once slipped on the ice and now moves like she's got glass bones. It's the right thing to do. I fire up the engine, that diesel coughs to life, and start my first pass. The blade scrapes the street. Sounds like a banshee screaming, but after a while, you barely notice. Halfway through my second run, I see a porch light snap on at the big house on the corner. The kind of house that screams lawyer money. Perfect lawn, mailbox probably imported from somewhere with palm trees. Out storms this woman in a bubblegum pink bathrobe, arms flapping like she's directing air traffic. I can't hear a damn thing over my truck, but her body language? Oh, she's mad. I finish the pass, pop my window, and, bam, Arctic air slaps me in the face. Morning, I shout, because, I'm trying to be neighborly, even if she looks ready to murder me with a look. You have any idea what time it is? She screeches, voice ricocheting off the snow like a warning shot. Now, this is Brenda Morrison, head of the Meadowbrook Estates HOA, queen of the cul-de-sac, recently installed and already infamous. Moved in, ran for the board, staged a coup, and now rules with an iron bathrobe. I went to one meeting after she took over, never again. She can make arguing about mailbox heights feel like a hostage situation. I'm clearing the street, I say deadpan. We got dumped on last night. I gotta get to my city route. I don't care about your route. Brenda snaps, pulling her robe tighter like it's armor. This is a residential neighborhood. There are noise ordinances. You're disturbing the peace. I try reason. City contracts me to clear snow. That's what I'm doing. It's my job. Your job can wait until a reasonable hour. Her words drip with that kind of entitlement you only get from folks who think their sleep is more important than public safety. I'm calling the police. And yeah, she actually does. Whips her phone out like she's about to shoot me with it. This is harassment, and it's against HOA regulations. Section 12, paragraph 4. No loud machinery between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. I tell her, that's for leaf blowers, not emergency snow removal. People need to get to work. Ambulances need to get through. Public safety. She's not listening. Already dialing. I just sigh and roll up my window. Let her call. Cops have better things to do. I finish plowing. Brenda's still pacing, talking into her phone like she's landing a plane. I'm about to move on when I see the red and blue lights. Yep, someone actually got dispatched. Out climbs Officer Dan Kowalski. We went to high school together, played football, sometimes ran into each other at the bar. He looks apologetic. Tyler, he says, shaking his head. What's going on? I point at the snow. I'm plowing. Apparently that's illegal now. He sighs. Got a call about noise disturbance. Someone operating heavy machinery. You know how it is. So, you gonna ticket me for snow removal? I ask, half joking. Hell no, Dan says. Let me talk to her. I've got 3 real emergencies. Waiting. This is the dumbest call all week. He heads over. Brenda's still on her porch, voice climbing. Dan's got the patience of a saint, stands there listening, then comes back. She's not happy. He says, but I told her snow removal's exempt from the noise rules after a storm. Tried to argue you needed a permit, but I shut that down. You're good. Just, maybe avoid her street when you can. I laugh. Yeah, that woman's gonna be a problem. He had no idea. I finish up, head out to my real route. 8 hours of white-knuckle driving, shoving mountains of snow off highways. By the time I get home, I'm dead on my feet. All I want's a shower and sleep, but taped to my door is a certified letter from the HOA. Brenda's handiwork, signed and official. It says I violated multiple bylaws: noise, unauthorized vehicle operation, damage to common property. I'm fined $500, due in 30 days. My exhaustion boils into anger. Damage? I've kept this street cleaner than it's ever been. Unauthorized vehicle? It's my truck in my own driveway. I dig out the HOA rulebook, because every suburban homeowner has one, right? Turns out, noise rules exempt emergency services. Commercial vehicle rule? Only for parking on the street overnight, not driveways. So I do what any reasonable adult would. Write a polite, detailed response, citing every relevant exception. Drop it in the HOA mailbox and figure that'll be the end of it. 3 days later, new letter. Appeal denied. Fines now $1,000. And if I don't pay in 2 weeks, they'll put a lien on my property. And that's when I call a lawyer. Marcus Chun, guy's a specialist in HOA disputes. Looks like he should be fighting Wall Street, but he's all about the little guy. He says, HOAs have power, but not infinite power. They can't overrule city ordinances or public safety. Options: pay the fine and roll over. Fight it, maybe they back down. Or, take them to court, but that'll cost more than the fine unless we win and make them pay fees. But if we win, Marcus says, we set a precedent. And you send a message. I'm not made of money. $5,000's a lot for a legal fight. But I can't let Brenda bully me out of my job. If she does it to me, she'll do it to anyone. So we send a cease and desist. The HOA lawyer, Patricia Drummond, writes back, digging in. The fine stands. They'll pursue the lien. Marcus says, they're calling your bluff. You want to keep going. I look around at my home, my street, my tired old truck. Damn right, I want to keep going. We file a complaint in district court. It's slow. Winter turns to spring, Snowplow sits idle. Then I get word. The judge wants a hearing. June 15th. That's something. I scramble to gather evidence, contracts with the city, thank you notes from neighbors, before and after pictures. Even a letter from the public works director backing me up. Courtroom smells like a library mixed with floor polish. Judge Martha Hendris doesn't look like she suffers fools. Marcus makes our case, lays out every law, every exemption. Patricia tries to paint me as a rogue rule breaker. The judge listens, sharp-eyed. At one point, she fixes Patricia with this look and says, "You're telling me you fined Mr. Carson for clearing his own street after a blizzard at 3:30 a.m.? When did you expect the street to be cleared, after it was packed to ice?" Patricia's got nothing. We wait for weeks. I'm chewing my nails. Then, July 23rd, the ruling comes in. Marcus on. Speakerphone. Judge rules in my favor, on every count. The fine's vacated, liens gone, attorney's fees paid by the HOA. But the best part? She adds a warning, says the HOA's actions look like harassment, not governance. We won. Not just for me, but for every neighbor who'd been steamrolled by Brenda's petty tyranny. I wish I could say that was the end. But Brenda's nothing if not stubborn. That summer, every street in the neighborhood gets repaved, except mine. Coincidence? Yeah, right. I call the HOA. Brenda's assistant Lucy tries to play dumb. Budget constraints. Sure. Lucy. I call, I email, I show up. Brenda dodges me every time. That's when I realize fighting from outside isn't enough. You gotta get inside. So, I start talking to neighbors. Turns out, I'm not the only one Brenda's targeted. Patel family fined for wrong-colored decorative rocks. Schneider's hassled over their RV. Thompson's told their mailbox is 3 inches too tall. People are sick of it, but nobody ever shows up to vote. I asked Jim Thompson, retired postal worker, what if we actually organize? He grins. You thinking about running? Maybe. I make a Facebook group. Word spreads. We get folks running for the board. Jim, Maria Gonzalez, a lawyer. And after some prodding, me for president. On election night, the place is packed. Brenda tries her usual speech, but people have had enough. I keep it simple. I just want an HOA that helps, not hurts. That listens, not punishes. People clap. Brenda turns red. We vote. I win president by a landslide. Jim and Maria take the board. Brenda leaves the meeting without a word. Almost felt sorry for her. Almost. First meeting, I ask about the missing street repairs. Maria, new treasurer, pulls the records. Budget was fine until Brenda spent $15,000 on landscaping at the entrance. Water feature, fancy rocks, the works. The street got skipped out of spite. We fix it. Repaving gets scheduled. Silly rules get tossed or rewritten. Now, if you get fined, there's an appeal process. Board meetings are open. Big expenses go to a vote. For the first time, people actually care what the HOA does. But drama has a way of finding you. That winter, nails get scattered across Willow Creek Drive. Not random, right where I'd plow. I call the cops, nothing to do without proof. Then sugar mixed with sand shows up on my driveway. A trick to wreck my engine. I call Marcus, install cameras. For nights later, camera pings. Someone skulking by my truck. Guess who? Brenda Morrison, caught red-handed with a bottle of bleach and ammonia. Police show up, arrest her on the spot. Charges: criminal mischief, vandalism, stalking, attempted assault. She goes to trial, guilty on all counts. Sentenced to 18 months, 5 years probation, restraining order. Restitution paid. She sells her house, skips town. HOA sends formal apologies to everyone sheet. Targeted. We add new rules, term limits, anti-harassment policies, mandatory board training. Willow Creek Drive gets its fresh asphalt. Neighbors throw a block party. My truck is the main attraction. For the kids. After that, peace. No more threats, no more sabotage. I plow every winter. Come home to coffee on the porch or cookies from Mrs. Henderson. People wave instead of scowl. Every so often, someone stops me at the store. Hey, aren't you the Snowplow guy who fought the HOA? I smile, shake hands, hear their own stories. Marcus still calls sometimes, asks me to help. Other homeowners stand up for themselves. I'm happy to. Dave Henderson, my next-door neighbor, takes Susan's spot on the board after she resigns. His wife's cookies at meetings don't hurt. Life settles. I finish my term, hand over the reins to Jim. Brenda's long gone. I wish her peace, honestly, but no joy in her downfall. Winters keep coming. I keep plowing, up before dawn. Moving snow so people can live their lives. It's hard work, but it's important. And now, nobody calls the cops on me for doing it. This whole wild ride taught me something about community. About standing up when the people in charge lose their way. HOAs, hell, any organization, works only if the people running it remember they're serving, not ruling. I wasn't trying to be a hero. Just a guy doing his job, who wouldn't back down from what's right. When authority gets twisted into bullying, you push back. And if you're lucky, or maybe just stubborn enough, you change things for everyone. Sometimes, the hardest path, the legal fight, the patience, the endless paperwork, that's the only way to win for Real. We made the neighborhood better, and I found strengths in myself I never expected. And if you're wondering, yeah, I still wake up at 3 a.m. sometimes. Still fire up the truck. Still clear my street. Only now, when I finish, I see the sun rising over clean roads and neighbors waving as they leave for work. Sometimes they leave me notes, sometimes coffee, sometimes just a smile. That's what a real community feels like. People looking out for each other, not looking to punish each other for minor stuff. I hope Brenda, wherever she ended up, found some peace too. Learned that rules without reason are just chains, and authority without compassion? That's just another word for a bully. So, what do you think? When is it right to stand your ground? When do rules go too far? And who gets to decide? I want to hear your stories. Ever had to take on a bully? Maybe even an HOA? What's your take on justice, on community, on doing what's right? Drop your thoughts below, share your stories, and let's talk about what makes a neighborhood worth fighting for. Because sometimes, the quiet heroes are the ones behind the wheel of a snowplow at 3 a.m., just trying to clear a path for everyone else.